Hello and welcome, my friend. Today's episode is special because we're going to find out something many learners are curious about. What is your English level? Are you A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, or maybe even C2? Don't worry, this is not a school exam. This is a simple, friendly test to help you understand where you are and where you're going. I will speak slowly and clearly, and all you need to do is listen, think, and answer when I ask you a question. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need long sentences. You just need to try. This test will help you see your strengths and the areas you can improve. So relax, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey together, step by step, to discover your true English level. Before we begin your test, I want to tell you one very important thing. Your English level does not define your intelligence, your potential, or your future. It simply shows where you are today. And once we know where you are, we can help you grow. Many learners feel nervous when they hear the words test or exam, but this is not that kind of test. There are no grades, there is no failure, there is only awareness. Think of this as a journey with small steps. At each step, you will hear a question or a sentence. If you understand it easily, you are ready to move forward. If you don't understand it yet, that's okay. It simply means you are still growing in that level. So listen calmly, answer gently, and enjoy the process. Let's begin with A1, the beginner level. This is the level where you understand simple words, simple questions, and simple sentences about everyday life. Don't worry if this feels too easy for you. We must start at the beginning to see how high you can go. So here is your first question. Listen carefully. What is your name? If you can answer this easily, good. That means you understand A1 question type 1. Here's another. Where are you from? If your mind understands this without effort, you are comfortable at the A1 level. Now try this one. How old are you? And one more. What is your favorite food? These questions are simple, short, direct. If they feel easy, that's wonderful. If they feel difficult, that's also okay. Remember, this is not about judging. This is about understanding. Now let's continue with A1 listening. I will say a short sentence, and you tell yourself if you understand it right away. Here we go. I live in a small city. Another one. I like coffee. And one more. This is my friend. If these sentences feel natural, clear, and familiar, then A1 is comfortable for you. If they feel confusing, don't worry. English grows with time. The important thing is that you showed up, you are listening, and you're learning. Now let's step into A2, the elementary level. At this level, you can understand simple phrases about daily activities, routines, hobbies, and basic communication. Let's test it gently. Here is your first A2 question. What do you do in the morning? Think for a moment. Can you answer that? Maybe, I wake up. I brush my teeth. I make breakfast. Good. Now try this one. What do you like to do on weekends? Another. Can you describe your family? And another. How do you usually travel to work or school? If you can answer these without stress, your A2 comprehension is strong. Let's try A2 listening. Here's a short sentence. I'll speak slowly. I usually take the bus to work, but today I am walking because the weather is nice. Did you understand the whole sentence or only parts of it? Here's another. My sister loves cooking, and she makes dinner every Friday. And one more. I want to learn English because it helps me in my job. A2 is about simple daily life, but with slightly longer ideas. If you feel comfortable, wonderful. If it feels a little difficult, that's normal. You are stretching your understanding, and anytime you stretch, you grow. Now let's move into B1, the intermediate level. This is where many learners begin to feel challenged, and that's good. At B1, you can express opinions, describe experiences, talk about plans, and understand common situations. So, here is your first B1 question. Can you tell me about a memorable day in your life? Think, can you tell the story? Here's another. What are your goals for the next year? Another. How do you handle stress when you feel overwhelmed? And one more. What do you think are the advantages of learning English? These questions require more thinking and longer answers. If you can respond clearly, even with simple sentences, you likely operate at a B1 level. Let's try B1 listening now. Listen carefully. Last weekend, I met my friend at a cafe. We talked for 2 hours about our jobs, our plans, and our dreams. After that, we went to the park to relax because the weather was beautiful. Did you follow the story? Here's another. I want to improve my English because I hope to travel to different countries. I think speaking well will help me make new friends and understand new cultures. And one more. Sometimes I feel nervous when I speak, but I try to practice a little every day so I can feel more confident. If you understood most of these sentences, your B1 level is strong. Now let's move to B2, the upper intermediate level. This is a big step. At B2, you can understand complex ideas, discuss opinions, debate topics, and express yourself with more detail and clarity. Let's test it. Here is your first B2 question. Do you think technology improves communication or makes it more difficult? Why? Think about it. Can you give a clear opinion? Here's another. What are some challenges people face when learning a second language? Another. How would you describe an ideal work environment? And another. In your opinion, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? These require deeper thinking, clearer structure, and more nuanced vocabulary. If you can answer these calmly, you might be reaching B2. Now, B2 listening. Listen closely to this. Although technology has made communication faster and more accessible, it has also created challenges, such as reducing face-to-face interaction and increasing distraction. To maintain healthy relationships, we need to balance digital communication with real human connection. Did you understand the whole meaning, or only part of it? Here's another. Learning a language requires more than memorizing vocabulary. It demands patience, practice, cultural exposure, and the courage to make mistakes without giving up. And one more. A supportive work environment encourages creativity, respects diverse opinions, and provides opportunities for personal growth. If these feel comfortable, your B2 comprehension is strong. Now we enter C1, the advanced level. At this level, you can understand long, complex texts, express ideas fluently, use flexible vocabulary, and speak naturally in most situations. Let's test your C1. Here is your first question. How does language shape the way we perceive the world? Take your time. If you can explore this idea, you are thinking at a higher level. Here's another. What qualities make someone an effective leader in modern society? Another. How does globalization impact cultural identity? And another. If you could redesign the education system, what changes would you make and why? These questions require deep thinking, analytical ability, and comfort with abstract topics. Let's try C1 listening. Listen carefully. Language is not simply a tool for communication, it is a lens through which we interpret reality. The expressions, idioms, and structures of a language shape the thoughts, values, and emotions of the people who speak it. Did you understand the whole meaning? Here is another. An effective leader must demonstrate emotional intelligence, adaptability, and integrity. In a rapidly changing world, leaders must inspire trust while guiding their teams through uncertainty. And one more. Globalization creates opportunities for cultural exchange, but also raises concerns about losing local traditions. The challenge is finding a balance that protects identity while embracing progress. If these feel natural and clear, you may be at a C1 level. Finally, let's step into C2, the mastery level. This is the highest level where you understand subtle meaning, complex arguments, academic vocabulary, deep concepts, and nuanced expressions. You can speak fluently, naturally, confidently, with precision and depth. Let's test it. Here is your first C2 question. To what extent do you believe personal identity is shaped by language, culture, and environment? Explain your reasoning. Can you explore this with depth and structure? Here is another. Discuss the ethical implications of artificial intelligence in modern society. Another. How do historical narratives influence contemporary political decisions? And another. What role does critical thinking play in personal and societal development? These questions require not only English skill, but intellectual maturity. Now, C2 listening. Listen carefully. The interplay between language, culture, and environment creates a dynamic framework within which personal identity develops. Language not only reflects our worldview, but actively constructs it, shaping our assumptions, values, and interactions. Understanding this complex relationship allows us to better appreciate the diversity of human experience. Here is another. Artificial intelligence presents extraordinary opportunities in fields such as medicine, research, and global communication. However, it also introduces ethical concerns regarding privacy, autonomy, and the potential displacement of human labor. Responsible development requires interdisciplinary collaboration and strict ethical guidelines. And one more. Historical narratives, often shaped by those in power, influence modern political decisions by framing public memory, shaping collective beliefs, and guiding national identity. Critical examination of these narratives is essential for maintaining an informed society. If these sentences feel clear, comfortable, and meaningful, you may be approaching C2 comprehension. Now that you've experienced A1 through C2, take a moment to reflect. Which level felt easy? Which level felt challenging? Which level felt natural? Your true English level is somewhere between the level where you feel fully comfortable and the level where you begin to struggle. And remember, your level can change. It can grow. It can evolve. You are not stuck. You are developing, step by step, day by day. The goal is not to reach C2 tomorrow. The goal is to understand where you are so you can take the next right step. So wherever you are, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, or C2, be proud. You are learning. You are improving. You are growing. And most importantly, you are continuing your journey with courage and consistency. That is what truly matters. English is not a destination, it is a path, and you are walking that path with strength and curiosity. Keep going, keep practicing, keep speaking. Your level today is simply the beginning of your